Hey everyone, before I get into January planning with goals and habits, I thought I'd do a quick look back at my 2020 favorites, mostly beauty products, and I will start with the beauty because other than that, my list gets a little random. Small things that brought extra happiness during the year. First up is my most worn perfume. It's Phlur Hanami. I looked up the notes, fig, white flowers, and sandalwood. I don't get a ton of the floweriness from it. To me, it's sophisticated, but still very warm and cozy. And I think this is a unisex scent, which makes sense because I tend to like men's cologne. I've so enjoyed wearing it, and I think it's especially good in the fall and winter. Next, I have two favorites from Charlotte Tilbury. This was purchased in attempt to save my mask. I heard Angie from Hot and Flashy rave about this, so I got a small bottle. I went through one of those and have already repurchased. It's the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This really helps to lock in my foundation, so days where I knew I was leaving to run errands, I would use this, and I got a lot less transfer on the inside of my mask. This I think has been out for a while, but I finally purchased it in 2020. It's the Flawless Filter. I have shade Light 2. It is so pretty. I like to use it some days underneath my foundation, other days in place of a highlighter. I haven't done a lot with highlighters this year. Not really sure why. I've either been using this or just relying on a cream blush for that extra glow on the top of my cheekbones. I love this product. I noticed they recently did a shade expansion and Sephora has mini bottles. 100% would recommend going that route because I use so little of this product, I don't see myself ever running out. Okay, with these next three favorites, I think you're gonna see I had an unofficial color scheme for 2020. First up is Rosewood by Dior. This is a part of their lip glow line. I have never gone through a lip gloss this fast. I wore this all spring, all summer. This is not a recommendation for everybody. If you don't like a thick, sticky gloss, you will not like this. But as somebody who films videos, I love knowing if I put this on, I'm not gonna have to reapply it, even if I'm sitting filming for an hour or two. A gloss that is much easier to recommend that I think a lot of people would like are the Tower 28 glosses, specifically the Milky ones. Those are my favorite, and my most worn shade is Cashew. It's a beautiful neutral, it's very thin, and it feels conditioning, almost like you're putting a serum on your lips. For face color, I love Nudestix. There's a lot I could talk about, but my most worn was Beach Babe. This is a great shade if you're trying to mimic getting a little bit of natural sun, but I'm still wearing it right now, just putting it on with a lighter hand, buffing it out with a Real Techniques brush. But this I think falls into my color scheme theme. I would say it's a rosy cranberry, so very pretty and very much that natural flush. This is unexpected for me. I haven't used a lot of Tarte over the past couple years, but my sister Summer recommended their cream bronzer. This is the lightest shade, and when I got it in the mail, I thought, no way will this work for me. This is the shade Breezy. But it works, and it's actually kind of similar to the Nudestix bronzer that I like. This is a more matte version of that. But an even more unexpected favorite is the bronzer brush that they marketed to go along with this. When this came in the mail, I thought, this is so big, it felt awkward to hold, but once I got the hang of it, this is the fastest way to put on bronzer. I can do one stripe up and then flip it over to start buffing it out, and I am done so fast. This is a throwback favorite, Anastasia's Modern Renaissance, but I did repurchase in 2020. I want to say this came out in 2017, and I have such fond memories surrounding this palette. It was the first time I had ever traveled to see Jeremy at work. He was near LA, so I flew there, and not only did I get to see him, but I also got to meet my internet friend Diana for the first time. And I remember being in the hotel room using this palette and thinking it was the most beautiful palette that had ever come out ever, and I was so excited to use it. I'd actually panned quite a few of my favorite shades, so I repurchased, and I've already barely hit pan on two again, Vermeer and Cypress Umber. Some of my other go-tos, Tempera, Raw Sienna, Burnt Orange, and Warm Taupe. Here's the thing about this palette. I love the color story, but the shadows themselves are very powdery, and that could be why I go through them so quickly. But I was happy to repurchase because every time I use this, I'm really happy with how my eye makeup comes out. Moving into random stuff, I have a pen. This is the Sakura Ball Sign .04. I have been very faithful to the Pilot Juice over the past couple years, but during 2020, I followed some new planner people, and a lot of them use those Tombow art markers. They're not traditional highlighters. They made my Pilot smear like crazy, and I was so sad about it. I would even let the Pilot try to dry for a long time before using it. No luck. So I did a little bit of searching to find something that would give me a similar look, but dry a lot faster. This is what I came up with. This is not a perfect pen. If I'm writing quickly or writing cursive, the ink doesn't flow as smoothly as the Pilot. But if you write like I do when I'm writing all caps, lots of little movements, this is great. It dries so quickly, works perfect with those art markers, and it lets me add a little bit of color to my planner. I was trying to think through clothes and accessories, but honestly, during spring and summer, it was a lot of t-shirts or sweatshirts. One thing I did learn is that gold necklaces can add a lot, and this set from Madewell I wore all the time. I love how it looks together, but I like that you can wear them individually, and especially this shortest one with the little balls on it. I wore this a ton, and it looked like I could just wear a basic white t-shirt, but when I put this on, it looked like I was trying a little bit more in a video or a Zoom call. As the weather started getting cooler, I tried to think about what I could wear other than just jeans. And I have found the most comfortable, cute pair of joggers ever. They're from Athleta. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, so I'll put it on the screen. I'm not normally a person who would buy red pants, but that's how much I like them. I started with the black pair, and I think this is the only other color they came in. It's kind of this cinnamon is what they call it online. I love wearing them. Whichever pair is clean, I am putting on. The black I can wear with absolutely anything. And I surprisingly like the red pants more than I thought. They look really good. I have a black sweatshirt and a black wrap that I tend to wear them with. Speaking of comfort, I am now all in on Clark shoes. My mom and sister love them, so during a 40% off sale, I took a chance and I got these boots. They are so light. I think they look like they could be chunky and really durable, but they feel like nothing on. I love that there's a zipper so I don't have to deal with the laces, and my feet have never been happier. I liked these so much, I ended up ordering a pair of brown, kind of cognac colored, more traditional ankle boots from Clark's. Posted those on my Instagram stories, and I don't think I have ever gotten that many replies ever. So many people have them and love them. So this pair in particular has been worn a ton. If there was snow on the ground or ice, probably wouldn't wear these. I thought they had enough traction to deal with it. They do not. I wore them out the one time we had a little bit of something outside, completely wiped out. So if there was snow, I would still wear my UGG boots that I have had for years and years if I need a little bit more traction. I feel like I've been talking a lot, so I'm gonna try to speed through some of these, but I couldn't film this video without at least mentioning Animal Crossing. This was the wholesome activity I needed this year. So sitting with Summer on the couch and playing Animal Crossing was a memory that I have of 2020. Another memory, when Jeremy found out he was having to leave for work earlier than expected, he said he was so sad to miss out on Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving food. So that night, I did a search online to see what I could find Thanksgiving meals for two. I found one that used sheet pans, which was awesome because that's pretty much all I dirtied in the kitchen. So it was so easy to do. It was delicious. He still talks about it, and he says when he comes home, he wants to have it again. So if you're looking for just a really good turkey, Brussels sprouts, and sweet potato meal, I'll put a link to that recipe down below. Moving into home things, I got 3 awesome housewarming gifts. The first is from my sister who makes cookies. She recreated our front door as a cookie. It was so cool, so pretty. Looked too pretty to eat. That didn't stop me. I still ate it, but that she took the time to do that was amazing. Then our realtor got us a Ring doorbell. I knew about them and that people would post cats and mountain lions walking in front of their house or whatever, but I never really thought about getting one, but they are so handy. And then my mom got me a Letterfolk tile doormat. I don't know if you've seen those on Instagram. They're super cute. You can change up the designs as often as you want. The only thing I'll say is it takes a lot longer than I expected to change up the designs, but kind of weirdly relaxing. You know how some people do coloring? Maybe this is my version of a de-stressing activity. Out of the things I bought for the new house, my favorite is the centerpiece I got for the dining room table. It was a little bit expensive from Crate and Barrel, but I loved that I could use it year round. And if you look at it online, they show it to you styled for different seasons. So in the fall, I had tiny little pumpkins, which were super cute. And then for Christmas, I have pine cones and berries in there right now. trying to think of what I could do for winter, but once spring rolls around, I think I'm gonna do moss. Those are some of my favorites from 2020. I would love to know if we shared any of the same favorites, if you have something to recommend to me. I was originally going to include books in this video, but I realized I pretty much only read romance novels, so that would get old pretty fast. But for me, it was a comforting thing. I'm happy that I read them all, but I'm going to try to diversify genres in 2021. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you again very soon.